A do it doop doop oop 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 shooby doop one. The Aundre Dean Late Night Show. A dooby doop doop at Scooby Doo round. Aundre Dean Late Night Show.
Oh my God. Please don't tell me that's going to be the intro to your show. Are you kidding?
What is up, world? It is yours truly, Aundre Dean. We're back here at the station, FM 88.7 The Choice, the Aundre Dean Late Show. This is the first night, the first evening. I'm excited about it. And I got a dope co-host today. Of course, I got to keep a good one in the studio. He's really not a co-host because he's got a lot more experience at this than I do. It's Eddie George. Talk to him a little bit. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Hey, listen, it's always good to ride shotgun. You know, no problem with that. You know, it's almost like this is driver's ed.
You definitely the teacher, though, right? You the teacher, because I'm learning. I'm a young buck.
Agree. You know, I have a little bit of experience in this. So, you know, first of all, congratulations, man. I can't say enough about your persistence, you're willing to get better, you going out on a limb and jumping into a new arena, and one that is a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and I see you taking the steps of doing that, man. So anything I can do to help you out or be supportive or even come in and be a co-host for the evening, as you said, you know, I don't mind doing that at all. The whole point of it is, man, is that you want to engage the callers, teach them, keep them entertained, and really let your personality out there, and also just hone your craft, hone your skills, and that's what you've been able to do. And you're doing it through the platform of what you know, and that's sports and entertainment. So here we are tonight talking about it.
Running back, let's talk about this TCU versus LSU game, the Cowboy Classic. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did get a chance to watch it, and it was an awesome game. I thought that TCU going up against one of the big boys now, not just an SEC team,
right,
but the big boys, where they breed some top NFL talent year in and year out. The same team, they lost a lot of players to the NFL last year, somewhere between 6 and 7. And for them to go out there and play the way they did, I was very impressed. Well-coached football team. They have a lot of things they can build on. I really felt that it was going to be a game where iron fists were going to be thrown from both sides. And it was. I didn't think it was going to be that high scoring. But to say the least, they didn't make enough plays. TCU didn't make enough plays to capture the win. But for the most part, you know, you look at the building blocks of how you can build towards a fantastic season. I think Coach P has got that done because he's got a fantastic quarterback, 2 of them. He's got a good, solid defense, a young secondary, and that's pretty much the strength of his team. You look at the secondary, it tells me that he's going to have a strong year defensively once again, and they're going to win a lot of games in the Big 12.
Absolutely. It was a great game, 37-27, definitely a lot more points scored than I thought it would be because both, great defensive teams as well. 448 total yards on offense for LSU, and TCU at 259. But it's an understatement. The game was a lot closer than the yards were. I mean, I think Casey Paul did a good job of coming back. You can still tell he was a little rusty, coming back trying to, dust those cobwebs off a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah, no question. Kudos to him for going to get help and dealing with his issues off the field, and I think to hope that he continues to do so. And, you don't expect him to come out there and pick up right where he left off.
Right.
There's a level of a transition and a process that he has to go through to get his playing legs and rhythm and knowledge and seeing all of that back to the tip of his fingertips, and that's going to take some time. So Coach P knows what he's doing, and he'll be, interspliced in the games as they move forward. So I have no doubt that he'll return to top form.
No doubt. And Boykins, man, he really, really surprised me. I mean, he's a great athlete, talented, great quarterback, but he just seemed a lot more calm, man. You can tell that 1 year of experience really made a big difference in his game because he was sitting back in the pocket, going through his progressions, looking at his check down routes, looking at everything before he was just taking off and running the ball. And I think that's really, really going to be key to their success, at least when he's in the game. Going through his progressions, going through his reads, and playing quarterback. And he's going to be really great down the line in the future. So TCU is in good hands.
I believe so. Anytime you have two good quarterbacks, they say that it's a bad thing, but when you have two good quarterbacks to rely on, especially a young player in Boykin who was thrust in that position, who played well last season, got some experience under his belt, and like you said, he's really worked on his craft in the offseason and is showing his maturity. You can't go wrong. And this is a game where you can look at the wins and losses, but the experience is there. When you can play a team like LSU close like that,
right,
and not bat an eye and not be intimidated by their size, their speed, and their athleticism, and realize that, hey, you got just as great of a chance, it tells me that you're quite confident in what you got on the field in terms of the product. So moving forward, looking at their schedule the next couple of weeks, you got Southeastern Louisiana, which should be a win. They're at Texas Tech, an improving Texas Tech team, SMU, and they start their slate of Big 12 games. It's going to be interesting to see just how much they've matured offensively, and defensively they're going to shore some things up, but I think they're heading in the right direction. I mean, some people believe that TCU can win the Big 12 this year.
I believe that. And I believe they have exactly what it takes. There's nobody really just strong in the Big 12 this year. A lot of players were lost. A lot of people lost their top quarterbacks. So it's kind of a start over year for a lot of teams in the Big 12. So I think it's wide open. We got to talk a little bit about the running game and the running backs, man. First, let's start with TCU. What about B.J. Catalone, true sophomore? I mean, this boy had a phenomenal game. He returned the kickoff for 100 yards. I think he rushed for about 50 yards, which isn't bad because they didn't really run the ball a whole lot. I mean, what you think about the young cat, man, young BJ?
I think he's got a shot to be special. Anytime you can return a kickoff against that group,
right.
it tells me you're pretty doggone good. And when you look at the statistics in terms of their rushing yards as a team, they had a solid day. Ran the ball 26 times for 114 yards. Against a defense that's starting to mature, really tells me that they're going to have balance. TCU is within their offensive passing game and running game. So I think that they have a chance. You know this, Dre. I mean, you played in the backfield. They're always going to keep, 2 or 3 running backs in that backfield, whether it's Wayman James or Catalan, whatever. They're going to have some guys back there that can run the rock.
Absolutely. Okay, so B.J. Catalon, he was 8 attempts for 52 yards, 6.5 average, a long of 26 and 1 touchdown. Wayman James came back, the return of Mr. James. He had 6 carries for 33 yards, 5.5 average, and a long of 15 and 1 touchdown. So the running game is in safe hands. The receivers look pretty good. They got to work a little bit harder, I think, out there on the edges to get open and be available. But I think it's the first game. They played against a great team, and it's going to be great stuff to look for in the future. LSU had a great running back as well.
Was that McGee?
McGee, yes. 13 attempts for 95 yards, 7.3 average, and a long of 52.
Mm-hmm.
He ran that ball pretty well, and Mr. Blue had 19 attempts for 89 yards, 4.7 average, and a long of 17. A bunch of good running backs.
No doubt about it. I think you see talent all over the place.
We got the New England Patriots playing the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Noon. Watch out for Josh Boyce for the New England Patriots, Young gunner, new young receiver. You know anything about Josh Boyce?
Well, yeah, I know he played at TCU during your time.
For sure.
He was a grown man. You guys, came with some big plays, made some big-time plays and big moments. And hopefully he can get some time with the New England Patriots because they could definitely use his services. They need some reliable receivers. And we know with a healthy Tom Brady, what he can do in the pocket, he is lethal.
Definitely.
But I just have a funny feeling that this year is the year that the tide turned in that conference. Buffalo was a young, hungry team with E.J. Manuel. They got a revamped defense, got some new uniforms they want to rock. So the new feeling that's going on in Buffalo that I'm like keeping my eye on that conference, Buffalo and even Miami.
Okay.
Could possibly push New England. So we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out. And this game is always a tricky one because the first week you're still trying to knock off some of the rust. Some of the older players are still not battle ready or game ready, so it's still like a lightweight preseason game. But the excitement that the whole season is new because it's opening day.
We got Jerry Hughes playing for the Buffalo Bills on the other side. Hopefully he can fit in there. They make a package for him, get my man on the football field. And I see Josh Boyce, man, you know, the new young Wes Welker. You know what I mean? That slot receiver, making plays, snagging some balls. Good hands, getting upfield, being a key target for Tom Brady down the road. We got Cincinnati at Chicago at noon. We got Andy Dalton playing, my man, out the K-Town, Katy, Texas. What's up?
Well, you know what, Dre? Ever since you told me about him a few years ago, you said, Eddie, this guy is straight-laced. He is a great person. You know, how he is on the football field is how he is off of the football field. He's just a great man of faith, and he is a great leader. And that's how he is for the Bengals, everything that they thought he was going to be. Right. They had all the weapons they need around him. They got the tight end, Jermaine Gresham. They got A.J. Green wide out. They've got a young running back rookie out of North Carolina, Giovanni Bernard, who is going to be awesome. They have the best front seven probably in that conference now. Yeah. That Baltimore and Ray Lewis, those boys are gone. So I think the torch is going to be carried by them to represent the North this year. I have all the faith that they're going to do it because they play salty defense. They're nasty at the offensive line. And Andy Dalton is not going to beat you. In fact, he is going to make sure that he's going to manage the football game. I think he's got to be very effective in the red zone and score touchdowns and not set up for field goals. And can he make the necessary plays, the necessary drive with 2 minutes to go or less to put his team in position to score to win 3 or 4 ball games? Because that's what it comes down to. You know, those teams that are 10-6. And between 10-6 and 12-4, it's going to be one for the quarterback. So is he ready to take his game to the next level?
So we're going to see how it goes this weekend. I'm excited to see my boy play. Tampa Bay and New York, the Jets. Jeremy Curley playing out there, man. He's been doing his thing. Had a pretty good season last year. Geno Smith and Sanchez. I really believe that Sanchez is being pushed and challenged right now, and I think he's going to really play better than he's played the whole time he's been at New York.
Well, considering that Mark Sanchez is out for a few weeks, you know, I think Geno's going to be thrust in that position. I personally don't think that he's ready for it. I think there's a lot of things there that he needs to develop prior to being thrown to the wolves, and not just on the football field, but in New York. I mean, that's an unforgiving market when it comes to the media, and I just feel like he has the potential, but not necessarily the proper leadership in the locker room, right. In the front office that's going to allow him to reach his full potential. And me personally, you know, I'm a big fan of Geno. I was last year. I thought he was phenomenal. You don't want to see him develop bad habits on the football field by being thrust in a horrible situation. He's shown me nothing this preseason that tells me that he's ready to take on the helm. And, you know, as far as Mark Sanchez, well, I don't think he's going to get pushed there. I just don't think that he is what he is at this point in time. He's, you know, an average quarterback at best. Never took his game to the next level. You know, they want to give him the praise of taking his team to the playoffs back-to-back years, but in reality, it was a defense-driven team. You know, he just managed the game. He never took his game to the next level. So I think his days are numbered in a Jets uniform, and I don't think the Jets are going to have a very good season. They gave me no indication that this team is going to do anything positive this year.
Now, keep in mind, my brother, I did not say that he was a great quarterback. I did say that he's going to be pushed and play the best that he can play to his ability, but I do not think that he's a great or will ever be a great NFL quarterback. Bottom line, I think the New York Jets has a lot of stuff that they need to work out, and I think they need to get that worked out before they can be a great team and start pushing for any kind of championships.
Absolutely.
On to Philadelphia and Washington. It's a double whammy. What I call a double whammy is 2 TCU players playing on each team. So you watch, you get the double whammy. Matthew Tucker, running back for the Eagles. I think he's going to be pretty good this year. I think he's going to do good. He scored a couple touchdowns in his last preseason game. Sky Dawson, I think he's going to be a great receiver for Washington. I really think his contribution is going to really come from special teams as well. Returning kickoffs, returning punts. I believe that's one of his his strengths.
Because he can do all those things you just mentioned. And I think that Matthew Tucker is also going to do an outstanding job as being a situational back, probably a third down specialist, goal line specialist, short yardage specialist, and really thrive there. The thing about the Eagles, I think they are a team that's poised to do explosive things offensively. I just don't know about their defense. And on the Washington side, my goodness, I mean, RG3 coming back.
Right.
He's going to have a plethora of options to pick and choose from. They got Morris at the running back position. You got the tight end.
Phenomenal running back, Morris.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they pan out. I mean, a lot of great matchups out the gate. Week 1, NFL kickoff. What more can you expect, man? The college season's here. NFL's kicking off week 1. Some juicy matchups that I'm looking forward to seeing. And it's going to be awesome.
I hope that my man RG3 can stay injury-free. I really would like to see him go through a full season. That's all we got for NFL football.
Ready for week 1 to go.
We back, the Aundre Dean Late Show. We doing it big. We doing it late. But it's all good because we're doing it, right? Check this out, man. You know, I'm really interested in film and television and music, etc. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this show. This is awesome. A great way for me to do that and get some experience to do my thing. Now, check it out, man. You also interested in some film and television yourself, my brother. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I've done film and theater, continue to work on my craft. This winter, I will be in the production of Othello in the Nashville Shakespeare Company.
Wow.
3-week run in January. I'm very excited about that. I've worked with them before. I did Julius Caesar 2 seasons ago. My principal character was Julius Caesar. That was a lot of fun. Done some movies, and the Best Man season that's coming up this fall, this Christmas season. So I played a character in that. So I do everything within the entertainment industry, from producing to also acting. I'm also open to that. So it's something I've been working on for quite some time and continue to do so, and I'm really excited about it.
Man, awesome. Well, I'm definitely following your footsteps, man. I'm doing my thing out here in Dallas. You know, been working with Paige Parks, taking some acting classes and some modeling classes and stuff like that, man. You know, so I'm getting it. Done some indie films out here. I did a stage play a while back. I'm working on a film now, an indie film, as well as another stage play coming up. We're about to do some traveling with that. It's called Consequences. It's a gospel stage play, and it's really cool. It's a great storyline behind it. We actually did it in Kansas and Dallas before, but we're really going to try to take it around a little bit and move it a little bit. So we both...
Good for you, man. That sounds exciting.
Man, I'm grinding, man. I'm trying to get it. See, what you need to stop playing and me and you need to go ahead and do a movie. You know what I'm saying? and do it big, and we both blow up.
Hey, with the right production, the right storyline, man, listen, it's all there for us, man. I'm open to it.
Definitely, man. So let's talk about movies real quick, man. When the last time you went to the movies, man? What did you see the last time you went to the movies, E.G.? Holla at me. What's
the
up?
last 2 movies I've seen was Fruitvale Station and The Butler.
The Butler. How was The Butler? Was that good?
The Butler was well done. I thought that Oprah did her thing. The acting was impeccable. Forrest Whitaker was awesome. Storyline was good. You know, gave us the perspective of a butler working in the White House and just his backstory, where he came from, and so forth. So I thought that was well done. But of course, you know, for black actors and black playwrights and so forth, and black script writers, it's always the same roles in terms of gangsters and butlers and servants. And, you know, sometimes you want to see something different. But for what it was worth, I thought the story and the actors in it were phenomenal.
I love to see guys like Will Smith and Denzel Washington who really took hold of the game and made it their own. You know what I mean? They don't just play black roles. They don't just play in black films. They play in many multiple roles, different films, different types, and all genres, man. And I think that's really important that our black actors and actresses, that we don't box ourselves in, to be one type of actor or play in one type of role or one type of film. We really got to broaden our horizons as far as acting and film goes. So that's good to hear that it was all good and it was put together well. I'm probably going to go check it out. I can't even remember the last time I went to the movies, man. I've been working at Enterprise with 12 hours a day.
That's your excuse, huh?
Man, that's my excuse, man, on and off. 12 hours a day, 49 hours a week, we get it in. The last time I went to the movies was Remember the Titans. Holla at your boy.
Oh, is that right? You went to Remember the Titans, huh?
Nah, you probably remember that, you know what I'm saying, because that was back in your days.
That was old school. I loved Denzel Washington. I thought that's one of my favorite movies, too.
It really is to this day. That's one movie that you can always turn on and watch no matter what time of day it is, what's going on.
But, it's like anything else. You become a student for the things that you want to do. And if it is that you want to get into acting and film and producing, I mean, you've got to be about it. You've got to study it. You've got to go to class. You've got to work your chops. You're doing a radio show. You're also doing movies. You're reading scripts. I mean, those are all the things that you have to do. You have to immerse yourself into it, into the work. And through the work, you'll get work. And as you get work, you'll start to build a career. And through your career, you start to build a legacy. And it must consist of integrity. That has to be the through line, is to always look for integrity in anything and everything that you do.
Crazy, man, because I come down and work out with you. It's so funny how football correlates to life in so many other aspects. You know what I mean? Because in everything, it is a grind. It is about studying. It is about knowing what you're doing, knowing what you're getting yourself into day in and day out. Just like you're trying to break that rotation on the football field, receiver, running back, quarterback, you're trying to break that rotation in the acting game, break that rotation in the corporate world. You always trying to do your thing and move ahead. And the only way to do it is to consistently grind. And that's one thing that you've taught me, man. I mean, I knew it. My family, I come from a strong background. But, I mean, to hear from somebody who's done everything that I really want to do, I mean, you've really instilled it in me, man, and you constantly remind me of it. And that's why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing today, pushing.
Absolutely. Man, listen, man, iron sharpens iron. Man.
Word.
I try to give you anything you need in terms of advice, anything that I've experienced to help you avoid the pitfalls that I've made. And I learn from you as well. I mean, you keep me young.
You keep yourself young. I'm trying to see why you, how old are you, Eddie George? Tell them how old are you, man.
Oh, man, I got a birthday coming up, man. I'm hitting a milestone in my life. I'm hitting the big 4-0 this year. So,
what?
For me, yeah.
I kid y'all not. When I seen this dude, when I first worked out with this dude down in Tennessee at D1, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is a big old dude. It looked like you just played last Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I probably could beat him up, though. You know what I mean? But the dude big. That's all I was thinking.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Why you want to beat up the old man?
Nah, man. I don't want no trouble with you. Hey, man, what about music, man? Let's go to music. What type of music you like, E.G.? Let them know what's good. What you like, man?
Oh, man. Well, I DJ, too. So
I know that. What's your DJ name?
I don't have one. It's just I'm no DJ. Nothing, man. Listen, I come from the era where it was 2 turntables and a mic, 1,200 techniques,
Word,
microphone and an amp.
Okay.
You get the crates and you dig in the crates. And I grew up in Philadelphia. That really rubbed off on me, my love of music. And right now, you know what, man? I'm listening to Jay-Z.
Okay.
I like Meek Mill. I think Meek Mill is incredible.
You think Meek Mill is incredible?
Yeah, I like Meek Mill. I like it. I like what he's talking. I mean, he's from the city, so you gotta show him love. But the kid that's killing it is Kendrick Lamar. I mean, he's not
killing it.
He is. He's much on the level of an Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, KRS-One in terms of lyrics, a true lyricist, and not some guy that's going to write down his lyrics and spit them out. I mean, he's a guy that can go into any arena, any circle, any cipher, and hold his own to the fullest. And that to me marks an incredible MC. You know, a guy that can just get out there and go for his at any time, any place, anywhere. And that's what I think Kendrick Lamar is. I mean, he's the best in the game right now, if you ask me.
Man, yo, I'm definitely a Kendrick Lamar fan. His new CD was pretty dope. But I like Wale, man. I'm a huge Wale fan. I believe Wale is killing the game. He's very metaphoric. I think that's a word. I'm gonna look that one up. I'm gonna look that one up. He's very metaphoric in his rhymes. It's like he says one thing and it means 3 or 4 different things.
Double entendres, triple entendres, triple layered. Yeah, that's how Jay-Z is. I mean,
right.
That's what makes him the God MC, is because he's been through the battles. He grew up in Brooklyn, and he's a poet, but he's a deep thinker, and he goes to different levels. So for a lot of these cats, you know, Jay-Z's, you know, his basement floor is their ceiling, and he lives on many levels.
Right.
So that's what makes him whole, you know.
E.G., man, I appreciate you coming through. Or
not a problem,
not coming through, but I appreciate you co-hosting and talking to me on the phone. I know it's late. I know you got to get up in the morning. I know you old. I know you tired. I know you sore, but you came through and you showed me love, man, and I appreciate that.
Always grinding it out, man. Grinding it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love, brother.
All right, big dog. Now I got one more thing to ask you, all right? Before you go, this is just some off-the-wall type stuff. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. After this, you can leave. You can go to sleep, old man. You can go to sleep. All right. If you were a fish, what kind of fish would you be, Eddie George?
If I was a fish, like anything in the sea, or...
I said... a fish. Do you know much about fishes?
You know what? The only fish that I know of, the proper term for it is a shark.
It's a shark.
Great white shark.
And why would you be a shark, good sir?
Because sharks, they rule the sea. They're predators. They're swift. They're humongous. They're intimidating. They're fascinating, and they are a mystery to everyone. They fear the great white shark. That's why I would be a great white.
Man, that's deep. And I would be a goldfish because they just be chilling, minding their own business in a bowl, cooling out. All right, Eddie George, man, appreciate you, big dog. Have a good night. Tell the fam I said hi. Eddie George, one of the greats